Hey everyone, welcome to a new video. Today's episode 26 in my Create This Book 2 series. I can't believe we're making it this far, and we still have pages to go despite how massive this book is. So if you guys want to see my entire playlist, I've been working on this for a couple of years now. It will be linked down below, and I'm hopefully, crossing my fingers, I will be finishing this book this summer so that I can do a final flip through, because I barely can work in this thing anymore. It's just stuffed, and it's a 360, but it's pretty cool, and I'm really excited to show you 3 pages that I did today. So let's get going. Alright, so prompt number 1 is to create a border. So for this one, I began by taking one of these plastic page protectors, and I cut that because I wanted to make a fish tank for this one. So I'm making a squiggly wavy edge as my border for this one, and then I'm going to go ahead and paint it. I'm using this metallic-y glittery watercolor, mostly because I wanted to see how well it would work, and I think it's kind of okay. It definitely helps to see the squiggly edges on the side, so that was cool. Then I'm taking some scrapbook paper, just some random scraps I had laying around, and I'm cutting out some fish and coral and under the sea things like waves, because this is going to go in my fish tank, which I know I don't need to make my book any bulkier, but here we are, because I thought this would be a really fun idea, and it's something that I hadn't done before. So I'm gluing all these things on, and the reason I chose scrapbook paper was because it's colored on both sides, so then you can see it on both sides of the plastic piece. So after that, I'm just adding some bubbles with a Sharpie, and then I'm going to go ahead and add some little glitter pieces. I'm just using sequins here. So here I am taping together the pages. So the goal here was to make a little bit of a pocket so that the top was still open, because I wanted to pour glitter inside. And I also added some pieces of scrapbook paper, kind of like confetti. And then after that was inside, I taped it up so that it's kind of like an interactive page. So if you flip over the book, then the glitter falls and stuff. There's not a ton in there, and it kind of ended up just kind of sticking because of static, but I think it's still cool and unlike anything that I've done before. So this is how the final page turned out. Alright, so next we're moving on to the most boring page of this episode, in my opinion. This one has the prompt, create randomness, and I just found all of these old bullet journal photos that I was going to use my bullet journal but ran out of space for, and decided they needed to be used up, so this was a great page for that. I just randomly glued these in, added some washi tape, and also some sequins again because I had them out, and it was I was having fun with the other page adding sequins, so I did that. This page is really not exciting at all, but sometimes I just kind of need these pages to reset after spending a lot of time on some pages and having to be really creative. So I wanted to add these sunflowers because I had them laying around and I thought they were so cool, and they kind of matched the randomness of this page. So I am just gluing those in, and that is a completed page. And I saved the best page for last, in my opinion, which has the prompt, create an integration. So essentially there's this line on the page. You're supposed to make something with the line. So I got a separate piece of printer paper and I added the line to it just so I could work a little bit easier, because as you can see, the book is falling closed because it's close to the beginning. And I wanted to make a Lucky Charms themed page. So I was being super ambitious, so I got this marshmallow that was very dried up, and I decided to try to make some Lucky Charms out of it. And to be honest, this was kind of a fail, and later on I ended up just using real Lucky Charms after purchasing some, because this was not really achieving the look that I wanted. So I started by trying to color it with them with markers, but then that was just way too pigmented, so I tried watercolor, but of course water and marshmallows don't really mix, so they got a little bit slimy, but the effort was there, and honestly super creative in my opinion. So I tried to make the little rainbow charm and the shamrock ones, just because I wanted something 3D to add to the page. I also thought about using Model Magic because I thought that had a similar texture, but I ended up being out of it, so this was like my next best option. So I started by painting like this red on the background, and I hated it, so that's why that's there. So I'm drawing this Lucky Charms guy on here, adding a rainbow, and I just had like a lot of fun with this page. I always had like a picture of the Lucky Charms box pulled up on my iPad just for some inspiration, and the colors were just like so vibrant and fun. And I found that I had a lot of great supplies, which you'll see later, to add lots of texture and stuff here. So I added some shamrocks in the background, and then the actual purpose of this prompt was that line. So I cut a slit there, and then I'm using that as a bowl, which you'll see later, writing down Lucky Charms there, and then just kind of doodling all over the background before I ended up coloring it in. And if you're wondering, that little opening on the side is for the prompt for when I glue it back into the journal, just to make it easier. Then I wanted to add some sparkles, so I'm using some white acrylic paint for that. And I tried to also use like a white gel pen, but it was kind of out of ink. I'm also adding some little mini stickers and just filling in the background as much as I possibly can. And then for the slits, I wanted to add the actual bowl of cereal so it could kind of move. So I did that on a separate piece of cardstock, and I covered everything with packing tape so that it would be nice and sturdy. And here I am adding in the Lucky Charms, which you'll see over here I added real Lucky Charms now, and I think that looks way better. And the page is just so fun and colorful and full of texture. It's like one of my favorites, dare I say. And the cereal bowl is like super cute, how it moves up and down. I don't know why I wanted to do that. I just love making my pages interactive and full of texture. So that is how this one turned out. I have this like page on my iPad where I have all the leftover prompts that I have to go, so I just ended up crossing those off, and then I can write down how many I have left. So as of this day, I have like 22 prompts left to go. Yeah, so we're getting close. If you guys have any suggestions for what book you would like me to do next, let me know in the comments, because I'm starting to think about which one I want to commit to next, because like it's a super long project and the prompts need to be good and it needs to be like a fun thing, because I'm working on it for like usually multiple years. So that's it for today's video. Let me know which of the 3 pages was your favorite, and I'll see you in my next one.